Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Ripster Daily Trade Recaps and Daily Teachings. Hopefully everybody's enjoying their holidays, Christmas, and ready for the and having amazing New Year. Happy New Year to everyone. So just haven't been doing the recaps. It's been a while because the holiday season, low trading volume, choppy, and we've been selling off. But anyways, just wanted to recap today's New Year Eve trading day. Was a pretty good day, even though the market was selling off. It was good for traders because it was a profit taking day. It was a year-end profit taking, and that was an opportunity to make good profits with the short setups, right? Of course the bullish days will come, the swings will come. We'll do a 2026 analysis video as well, but it is important that a day like today, the opportunities like the New Year Eve, you understand that how does that work. We did that in the community, insane day with a lot of big trades on the short side. We'll discuss that and I'll show you how we did it. Of course we had some long setups as well. Was a good trading day, last trading day of the year, better than a lot of the previous days that we had where we sit on our hands when it's choppy. So before we do that, before we do these recaps, I'll show you that. Let's do a quick introduction. Anybody who's new to our YouTube, new to our X accounts, new to our community, or if it's just new to me or just heard about me. So we trade this repeatable system, Ripster cloud system, which the system just doesn't include my indicators, which are free to use, but it also includes all my teachings, all my concepts, but day trading, swing, or investment concepts that I've been teaching freely from ONDS from 7, 8, 9 years. You can go on ripstereducation.com. You can see the lives my free education has changed over the years. My system, thousands of traders use across the world to trade consistently and finding success. Repeatable system is how you trade, setup is what you trade, and we do this as well in our community, Tanner Trade Group, one of the largest live trading educational community, where we trade with this our system setups. So every morning we create this plan of 1 hour before the market open. We create a game plan. We highlight the plays. We have support, resistance. I'm live. Make this game plan live, and we follow the plan. We follow the system. Everything is in process oriented. We just don't trade randomly. So the traders can literally take the plan and know my system and trade the setups and keeping the losers small, winners big. So we're going to recap all these trades. In addition to that, we also have a day 2, day 3 strategy. I did a free webinar on that. We have a plan on that on pre-market. The team is making the plan 1 hour before the market open live. We trade futures. We share the future levels and future game plan using Ripster cloud system. We also share daily levels for ETFs and the Mag 7s. On a trend day you can use those levels to trade. We also trade crypto stocks. We have our crypto levels and provided. We trade low floors, we trade IPOs, and in our community we have a lot of tools. We have 3 option flow scanners, stock scanners, breaking news alerts, order flow. We have tools over $500-600 which are free in the community to use. And of course we have a lot of our webinars, courses, to learn. You don't need to be part of the community to learn from my education. My education is free on YouTube, on X, on ripstereducation.com. But of course, if you like what you hear, if you like to be part of one of the best trading communities out there, feel free to join. So we are going to recap. I'm going to show you how we traded today, what were the setups. Not a lot to cover. We didn't trade a lot, but definitely you will learn a lot today, and when next time you will know that our system is perfect, gives us no system is perfect, but the most probable system that we only trade with the system, say, on the right side of the trend. So today is all about the New Year Eve profit taking, and let's start to check it out. Before we start, amazing day today. Shout out to a lot of the traders in community who had an amazing year. A lot of the traders in the community quit their full-time jobs since they joined Tanet and trading full-time. Nothing gives me more happiness than the power of the education and the system, trading repeatable setups, mindset, risk management. So amazing day. Thanks a lot for all those traders from the community, from the traders from X who sent me DMs, who had amazing years. Those who did not, don't worry, focus on education. We're going to kill it in 2026. So congrats to everybody who became full-time traders this year and who became a profitable trader this year. So great there. So anyways, so let's start with the SPY QQQ. Let's take a look. Let's do an analysis here. So always look at the charts on SPY QQQ when you're looking at, let's take a look here on SPY QQQ. Let's take a look here. So when you're looking at the SPY QQQ charts, we want to go here on SPY. SPX doesn't really matter. So you always take a look at a bigger picture. So what's happening, right? So I'm just going to remove all drawings. I'm going to remove all the clouds. I'm going to remove all the MTF clouds. So the bigger picture, you know, we've been on, if I go to the weekly charts, let's take a look. So the weekly chart, we have been stuck in a range for a long time, right? Since October, we go up, go down, and since December whole month, we are stuck in this range. So month ended with the profit taking, the month ended negative, the monthly candles. So that's what we're going to analyze today. So this is our bigger picture. So we'll discuss when we'll talk about 2026 what we're expecting, but always good to see the bigger picture. Same for although the year was amazing, but the last month or 2 months, the investors didn't really go anywhere. If you see the monthly chart, weekly chart, you see the candles are stuck there. And the same for everything. Microsoft, you can see the weekly candle stuck, the month of December stuck, Amazon stuck. You know, there's no improvement for the investors in those times. And a lot of semiconductor names kind of dumped. Netflix had a red month, down lows. So we will discuss all those in at the end of the video for 2026 review. But what I'm trying to show you that we have this analysis at a bigger picture level whenever we are trying to trade something. Okay, so whenever investors also need to do the bigger picture analysis. So let's see what was our plan on SPY QQQ. The plan was simple. Market was gapping a little up. First it was down, then it became flat. NVIDIA had a big news. So we said follow the live screen levels, check the daily sheet for levels, big extension. For market to push, we need over yesterday highs. Cautious of the profit take. If you see that I mentioned the profit take in the pre-market, on the voice, in the plan, every and each one of my traders knew that there's a chance of profit taking. And how is that? I'll show you. We'll want to watch semiconductors. We're going to watch the VIX, our VIX repeatable strategy. We're going to watch that. So let's take a look here. Let's go here on SPY and QQQ. So let's go right here. So you see what was happening on SPY QQQ. And so we see we dumped in the pre-market session and we gapped up big. Not really a big gap up, but we made a big move from the lows to all the way to up. Same thing for SPY. So when this happens, we know that at the last few days have been a profit taking. So it's a year end. You see the bigger picture. You know, we popped a little bit around the Christmas, but we've been selling on the Nasdaq, and the same for SPY. We have been selling or range bound, right? And we know that it was a pre-market dump, means that actually the investors are taking profits. And same thing for IWM, which is a mid cap, and you know that they have been selling the small cap, the mid cap, the stocks with the lower capitalization, who are still trying to grow, who have a lot of cash needs, who need a loan to grow, and rate sensitive names. So we see that, right? So you can, even if you're a 10-minute chart, you can see that, but you can go to the 1 hour chart. You can see the bearish trend on all these names. So we could see that there was the trend was really on the bearish side, going to the downside. So just like I said, we were just want to emphasize that I was on the voice, my voice transcript, that we had a profit taking 928, 929. I told the traders to profit taking. The reason I'm stressing it is because I want to show you that with experience you could understand what could happen. So we are not going to blindly be long. You see that SPY is not pushing over the MTF clouds, QQQ was not pushing over the MTF clouds, so we could not blindly long it, right? So that's why we know it's a profit taking. Then what do? We short it. We know there's going to be a profit taking, we shorted. So that's why I told the traders that MH or 512 short. That means when this 512 cloud breaks right here, you take a short here, right? And you watch the VIX. You take your first profits into 10 a.m. You do not cover because the 512 clouds are heavy and the pre-market low is your target. So I gave the pre-market low as the target. We hit the target on the pre-market lows. Then we got out in this chop, and we'll talk about the midday sell-off. And then you see same thing on SPY, you know, that hit. QQQ was same thing. I did tell the traders to hold their short runners, and now comes the midday, right? So you saw that. So that was pretty clean setup. We rejected the MTF clouds. You showed here, buy the puts. The puts went over 100%. You could trade the leverage ETFs. Just get in right there when you see this candle, because your risk is smaller. Closer to the clouds, your risk is smaller. Buy the puts, short it. I was actually short on QQQs. I was short from 619, 619.71 right here, and then if you see that I covered for $2 profit. Whatever your size is, 500 shares, 1,000 shares. That's whatever it is. Even 100 shares is good here. So I covered that, and I covered rest on the lows, and I was out of that short. But let's talk about the midday, right? So we left, and then the mid of the day, I noticed something. I noticed that there is a 30-minute bear flag. Right, so let's see if I can show you that. See if I've also tweeted about it. So you could see that this was our morning short from the MTF clouds, and that was our morning short. But if you go like in the middle of the day, and also of course I was talking to my community as well, I saw that the bear flag. You see, there's a 30-minute chart, bear flag. So you can get in short right here on the 30-minute chart. If you get a short at low of the day, then your size need to be really small. But see that's a bear flag breaking down at the same time, and you see that from that bear flag, where did we go? Look here, we flushed all the way to MTF clouds. We flushed all the way to the lower MTF clouds. So we know it's a bearish setup. We are not going to long. Nobody was touching the longs. We had the morning profits. We know it's the end of the year, so profit taking is happening. And all day, guys, all day there was this profit taking. You could short on the middle of the day on the 10-minute chart, buy the puts on SPY, buy the puts on SPX. So these are the setups we kind of do. We don't care market goes up, market goes down. We follow the trend, right? We find this at patterns. The lesson you learn today is you have to watch this. You go to the 30-minute chart. If the 10-minute chart is not really helping you out, you look at the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart will give you a better picture. Also using VIX strategy. Just when we were having this 30-minute bear flag breakdown, and it's never hindsight from me. I always show you before and after. Let's see if I can show you here. Even in the traders in the community, we were talking about that. It's on the live screen about that the bear flags, right? So the bear flags we had right here. Yeah, so the bear flags in the community as well. So the VIX was curling, so you know that you can short it. And I was on live on the voice. I told the traders to hold it. You can there's not a lot of traders who were on, most of them made money in the morning and left, but whoever was trading, this was a free easy setup, right? So many convictions. Every trade you take, you need to make sure that how many checklists are being checked. Market last day profit taking, check. Bear flag, check. VIX is rising, check. You take a look at anything, all the other names, on your chart. So let's see if you're looking at Tesla, which was another profit take in the middle of the day selling off. You're looking at Oracle selling off. You're looking at Meta, that bear flag selling off. You're on Netflix selling off after that 512 break. Buy the puts, you take it down. Google selling off. Microsoft also sold off. So you could literally short any of these names. Of course traders were trading SPX, SPY, QQQ, trade futures. You could trade ES Nasdaq futures on 30-minute break. So this is how you make profit. And even if you do not trade on the downside, you do not touch anything long, right? So it's not the first time we have done this. I have a full playlist of making money on the profit taking day, how to make we have done this profit taking short setups many times. There's a full playlist there. So that was the day, that was the Christmas Eve last day. We'll talk about the 2026 if we get a time end of this video, but that was how we literally killed it. And never a hindsight from me. with experience you will get it. These are the opportunities in the market. Doesn't matter, it goes up, goes down, you just need to follow the Ripster Cloud rules. If you're having hard time, you understand the system but you cannot trade it, start with a smaller size, trade 2 contracts, trade 20, 50 shares. So once you start doing that, you will be able to get in this 512 breaks, 10 AM bear flag breaks, midday bear flag breaks, because clouds give you risk. Wherever you enter, clouds is your stops, easiest way, and then you can hold your runners. And that, for example, the SPY puts literally from $1,000 went for like $3,000 today. Even in the midday, they are lot odds. You need to understand those lot of options, but you don't need to trade them always. You can trade leverage ETFs. I teach about them. You can trade futures. There's many ways to profit from such a profiting day. Let's check other plays here. All right, so let's take a look at the Tesla. Tesla was our morning short. NVDA trade, we'll take a look. That one didn't work. So Tesla was our morning short because it was an amateur short, because it broke the 512s. Market was heavy. The first candle, 10-minute candle from 456 to 452, that was a $4 short. We stayed short as long as it was under the clouds. You see here, we kind of got out here, but then it flushed again. So you could literally scalp every time it was pushing over there. Finally, we closed all the short when this happened. But the same thing with Tesla. Tesla also made a 30-minute bear flag. You could short it and take it down, and you can see that on the 30-minute or 1 hour chart, Tesla has been selling off since 22nd of December. Made a high close to 496. That was a kind of a double top. It was a double top, almost at the double top on the all-time highs, and you see that lot of sellers, just pure selling. Every pop into the MTF clouds, drop. Every pop, drop. Every pop, drop. Right? So it was clearly, the money clearly was in the short. We shorted it every day almost on the first hour, because it dropped in the first hour, popped and dumped in the midday. Dropped in the first hour, popped, dropped in the midday, right? So every day it was a clockwork for us. So that tells you how much selling is there. The Ripster cloud tells you it's a selling pressure. So that's why in the morning I told the traders to use 456 as their stops to short it. You could see that 456 stops. If you use your 456 stops and held your shorts, you made a lot of money by end of the day. So that's how you analyze it, understand the bearish bias, understand the trend. And this was our guidance on the short. We made money in the morning. You can see the timestamp guidance here. It popped and then gave a short end of the day as well. And the plan was pretty simple here on the pre-market on Tesla. Up from the big pre-market, only long if the previous day close holds. 456 needs to hold, otherwise stay away. And once the 456 was gone, which was right here, the 456, it was a short, and it held a support here on the pre-market lows for some time, chopped, and then bear flag breakdown, boom, short. So it was a beautiful short trade scalps today. Okay, so let's take a look at our NVIDIA trade today. So NVIDIA long did not work for us. We longed at 189 at the open. It bounced a little bit to 190, and then it broke. As soon as it broke 189, we took a loss, 80 cents loss there. And then we did short it. I told the traders to cut it under 89, 512 shorts. We did short it 34.50. We got a little bit like $1. Then it went to the sideways. And same thing, bear flag breakdown. You can see the 30-minute here on NVIDIA as well. 512 shorts, midday 512 shorts, MTF cloud fade. So was a setup. So that was the morning one that NVIDIA had a news, right? So it was gapping all the way up, but we used this as our risk to long it. And once it's not holding the pre-market highs, it's clearly not a long anymore, right? So always a golden rule. If it can't clear the pre-market highs, you're not going to hold it. And you see that in the pre-market guidance, I gave the 189 level, pretty clear level. I had a 190.30 level, pretty clear level. Extended from MTF in the pre-market, bullish bias to long versus 512 hold. So that was our plan, and we played our plan. It did not hold. We got out. We scalped a short, went into the chop, and then a midday fade under the 534.50 and MTF clouds. All right, so next one we're going to look at was a big winner for us this morning. Just as a NVIDIA news, there was the Taiwan Semi was the big news. NVIDIA approached Taiwan Semi to increase its production of H200, because so NVIDIA is actually a semiconductor foundry which manufactures those chips. So NVIDIA uses that, and so they have that partnership to work together. So when NVIDIA, it was a pretty bullish news for NVIDIA, but the NVIDIA already pumped up so much and did not work. But instead, Taiwan Semi had a daily breakout chart, and I told the traders if Semi is strong, bullish bias, avoid under 303. That was the pre-market plan. As soon as I saw that this candle right here, I told the traders on Taiwan Semi, long versus 304, 512 calls. We held it. We did not stop out. You see the candles kind of swiped up. So when it is pushed here, you could enter right here as well. The stops I gave was 304, and so you see that this area is kind of the 304 level, or you could use the 512. The stops I leave is this 303, 40, 50 levels there. And so we got there, you can see that. And when we held the 512 long, I told the traders watch the breakout, and we got this breakout. The target I gave was 307. We hit our 307, and it was 10 a.m. We never really pushed. We took most of our profits there, and then it pulled back. It did curl middle of the day, and then it stopped out. But the morning trade was this one from 304 all the way to 307. Very profitable trade. You see that how Ripster Clouds is holding. You had a news, and it's still pretty nice weekly chart. We'll see what it does next year. If it breaks out, we're going to see higher if the market semiconductor stays strong into next year. So, but that was the Taiwan Semi. Pretty good trade. You just needed to be a little patient in this area and the open, because it had a news, it had a catalyst. Of course, market kind of dumped, so it dumped with the market, but it did give us an amazing trade right at the open. This area was your risk area, and that was our long this morning. Also, the daily chart had a breakout. I think I showed a little bit. This range was breaking out. All right, so let's look at next one. Next one we're going to take a look is ONDS. So ONDS was a day 2 play. So ONDS, we did a detailed investment research report. You can go on Tenet Research and study it, what we think about it. But anyways, it's on our 2026 investing list. Yesterday with a big move right from Ripster MTF Clouds. 1 hour MTF Clouds usually turns a swing when you see it's curling like this, and over Ripster 1 hour MTF Cloud. So that was a pretty good. Yesterday also was a good long winner for us. So today, as long as it was on our plan, it was on both on our day 2 plan. So ONDS I highlighted is a red. Good news. I had 2000 investing theme, bullish bias to long as it holds the previous day high. Bullish bias to long as it holds the previous day highs. So that was the plan. The plan was simple, right? So plan was simple, and it was kind of rejected the first candle, just like Taiwan Semi. But then when it started to re-push over this pre-market high and yesterday highs, that's when it became a long. And I told the traders long here at 935, 30s, use the 920 stops. And watch the high of the day breakout. I gave the 10 target right here. Way before. Navy was on top of it. A lot of other traders were on top of it, guiding the traders. You could see that traders were guiding right from the open. Navy wanted the calls as well. 0.45 cents. Pretty good stock for the small account traders for growth. But this was an A+ setup, and as you see, even without the news today, we had it on our our day 2 setup along over yesterday highs, breakout over 930. So you could see that it was a full planned trade setup for us. And I often talk about ONDS. I have talked about it a lot. Not going to discuss that fundamental, whatever the thesis is here. But anyways, I gave the 10 target. We hit the 10 target. We pulled back. We stopped out. Then it gave us a midday calls. This is called a midday call. I sent an alert that 512 reclaim, another one of our repeatable setup. These are all repeatable setups. They always again and again and again and again we can repeat for life. So this was a morning gap and go 512 curl repeatable setup. The second setup was this curl right here, bouncing from Ripster Clouds, happens again and again and again. Sometimes it pulls down like this, like it did today, and right back. And then you get back. As soon as I send the alert, 10:04, you get back, you put your stops, 985, I gave the stops, you take it back to 1053, 1060, you make another 50 cents. If you have $1,000, you're risking if you have 1,000 shares, you're risking $150, but you're making almost $400. So that's a good risk to reward. So those were 2 setups on ONDS: the morning plan A+, and then the midday move. And amazing, the options were amazing on ONDS. So if we look at the 950s, they went from 20 cents all the way to $1. $2,000 to $10,000, $200 to $1,000. Even if you scale out on the way, you could still make 5 times that profit. And is a great for small account traders, great with the shares. You take 5,000 shares, you're risking $1,000, you're making $4,000 or $5,000 on that trade alone following this process. All right, so next one we will look at is silver. We have been trading silver and AGQ. Silver is a regular ETF. AGQ is a leverage ETF. So both long and short, right? So silver 512 calls was a long for us right from here. AGQ is a leverage ETF. It was on our pre-market plan. We mentioned that you can trade anything AGQ and silver. These were AGQ levels given. A long over 166. I told the trader I have a bias of a curl. I have a bias of the bounce. So we took that curls on AGQ, and same for silver. We took that curls and I gave the stops here. You see that we did curl it from the 65.50 all the way to 66.60, almost $1. When this breaks it, we exited. When we breaks it, we exited it. We exited our position. So especially silver SLV is a pretty good one for small account traders. If you see that morning when we were trading it in the morning, those 64.50 or whichever the calls, they ran from dollar to 250, 100%, and I think 65 calls ran from 93 to $2, 100%. And the same thing, even on the downside, when it sells, you can sell those puts if you want. But so those were really nice trade setups there. And the thing is, when it breaks down, this is our 512 short setup. So now we can short silver when it breaks this 512, and that's what traders mostly did, and take it right down. And same for AGQ. If you have a larger account, you want to trade the leverage ETF, you take the long out, take the morning long from 162, 163 to 168, and then you short it, get out of the long. So this is the system, right? The system helps you stay long, get out long, short, only for the system. We do not trade the gut feelings. We do not trade randomly what we think. We just strictly follow this system. So that was a silver today. Silver trade for us was a successful morning trade. Too bad, didn't go too much, but did provide a short opportunity later as well. So next one we're going to look at is Nike. So Nike, reason I want to look at it, let's take a look here. Nike CEO buys 1 million worth of stock. So I told the traders on Nike that trade versus daily 2021 MTF. Those are Ripster MTF clouds that I built. Trade versus them long over 63, and grab and grab under that. So initially we were not interested. You see this gap, we are not interested. This is a gap and grab. It trying to bounce, not interested. When it creates this cup and handle on the 3450 clouds, then it becomes the long trade, and then it pushes over the 2021 MTF, then you get the long, and then you have the pre-market high. So this was a beautiful setup. This is a repeatable 3450 setup that I cover in detail in the webinars. We have thousands of times traded this setup, so you could see that power of the Ripster clouds, 3450 and the MTF clouds. So beautiful trade in the community today. Midday setup, a lot of traders were trading Nike. They just killed it. ABCD just killed that Nike trade. Sarkusham killed it. Frying Pan, Nikhil, everybody was pretty good on the Nike. D-Dow called out the 2021 MTF breakout. All of our traders are system traders, very disciplined traders, and you can be like that. Promise yourself you're only going to trade the setups, no random, no gut feeling trades. All right guys, happy new year. I'll do a separate video on the 2026 looking ahead, or maybe I'll just combine it with this one. Take care.